A very special edition with me, Aarti Subramaniam. The pandemic has thrown a curveball at all of us, forcing us to adapt to the new normal. Our teachers perhaps have been the hardest hit, having to change the way they operate, moving over to online teaching, which has many pitfalls, which has had so many challenges. On this occasion of Teachers' Day, we're going to speak to those who are shaping young minds on how they are coping with this new challenge. To discuss that, joining me this evening, and it gives me great pleasure to introduce our panelists, Narayan Mangalam, who's a teacher at the Zilla Parishad Primary School at Gopalwadi in Ahmednagar, and also a national award winner, having received that award from the President of India. Shama Chona, who's a former principal of Delhi Public School and also a Padma Bhushan herself. Anuradha Joshi, who is the principal of the Sardar Patel Vidyalaya in Delhi. And Avneeta Bir, who is the director and the principal of the Podar School in Mumbai. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us. Anuradha Joshi, if I can start with you, how has this transition been from physical teaching to online education?
Tough, but I'd say we're managing. I wish it were better, but given the circumstances, we somehow managed to make a connect with the children, perhaps not as well as we could have had it been in person. And we miss that connect because if teaching needs to be transformative, you need to have that connect with kids. But we were lucky that we had started in the second week of March with our planning. And I have a lovely team of teachers, God bless them, that have helped me accomplish this transition. I'd say not too badly.
Avneeta Bir, what has the transition been like for you? I just want to establish first how, this has been. You're so used to teaching, you're so used to being in physical contact with the students, and I'm sure that has so many benefits. But this online switch, how has that been for you?
You're asking me?
Who is this question addressed
to? Yes, Avneeta, can you hear me?
We can't hear you. Who is it addressed to?
Okay, we miss the kids. We miss their energy. We miss their vitality. We miss the fact that we can see, touch. We miss that sixth sense that we have when they're around. But given the circumstances, within the parameters of what is available to us, is what I was talking when I said that the switch hasn't been too. It hasn't been very, very difficult, but yes, it has been difficult. And the challenge that was thrown up to us, I would say that I'm really, really grateful to the wonderful bunch of teachers and colleagues that I have at school who helped me make that transition smoothly.
If I can add, can I add?
Well, I would certainly say this, I think.
Yeah. Yes.
Sure, please go ahead. Yes, absolutely.
So for us, technology was not something new because we've been experimenting and getting our hands dirty with technology for a number of years now. So the transition for us was pretty smooth and seamless, and we could overnight, transition into online mode. So there was this whole, of course, we had to learn new tools, which the teachers had not tried out earlier. So there was this little angst about whether I'll be able to connect with my children and, how do I feel the pulse of my kids if I can't see them face to face. But they soon learned that, and I think while the world at a time when the world kind of came to standstill, the teachers aided with their technology and tools. They kind of marched ahead, and it was cool as usual for them. And I think, the excitement of a new mode, diving deep into a new mode of learning and teaching and all of that was very exciting for our teachers. So they've really been very happy with this whole, experience because they feel that they have grown and they've evolved,
Avneeta, I don't know if I'd say they were happy, but given the challenges that we've had and the limitations that we've had, within the scope that we've had, we've tried to do our best. Yes, it's been growth and learning for all of us, but we miss the presence of our kids. We miss the vitality that they bring to every class. And it has been difficult, but I'm very, very proud of my colleagues and the way they.
I'll tell you what, it's been a brave new world for all of us now with these new challenges, and teachers certainly have risen to the occasion in so many ways. I do want to pick you up though on the limitations that you were talking about, but before that I want to welcome Narayan Mangalam, who is a teacher at the Zilla Parishad Primary School in Gopalwadi in Ahmednagar. Mr. Mangalam, welcome to the show. आपको बहुत बहुत बधाई हो, आज आपको राष्ट्रपति से अवार्ड मिला है. नाउ आपके स्कूल के बारे में थोड़ा बताइए हमें, कैसे शुरुआत हुई और ये पैंडेमिक की वजह से आपको क्या बदलाव लाना पड़ा स्कूल में?
मैंने मेरे शिक्षा का करियर जो है वो 2003 से शुरू किया है. पिछले 17 सालों से मैं इस क्षेत्र में कार्यरत हूँ और मेरा अभी का जो स्कूल है जिला परिषद प्राइमरी स्कूल गोपालवाड़ी, ब्लॉक राहुरी, डिस्ट्रिक्ट अहमदनगर, ये एक नोमैडिक ट्राइब से बिलोंग करने वाले गोपाल समाज के जो लोग होते हैं उनकी एक बस्ती है, छोटा सा गांव है जो राहुरी के आउटस्कर्ट में बसा हुआ है. तो यहाँ पे पहले तो टीचर बच्चों को एनरोल करना, उनको उपस्थिति उनकी कंटिन्यू करना और बाद में सिखाना, ऐसे 3 स्तरों पे में हमारे सामने चैलेंज था. ये तो मैं कोरोना के पहले की बात कर रहा हूँ, लेकिन कोरोना ने वो चैलेंज और ज्यादा बढ़ा दिया है, क्योंकि छोटी सी बस्ती है जहाँ पे लोगों को 2 वक्त के खाने की उनके सामने सवाल है. तो वहाँ पे जो डिजिटल गैजेट्स है उनकी काफी कम मात्रा में उपलब्धता है और मेरे ख्याल से इंडिया में बहुत से जगह पे यही प्रॉब्लम आ रहा है. जिनके पास गैजेट्स की उपलब्धता, ये सबसे पहला सवाल है, और साथ ही कनेक्टिविटी, नेटवर्क, ये तो इशू उसके साथ है ही. और दूसरा सवाल है जिनके पास गैजेट्स है, अवेलेबल है, लेकिन उनके सामने भी कुछ सवाल है, क्योंकि जैसे प्री कोरोना हम ये सोच रहे थे कि बच्चों का स्क्रीन टाइम कैसे कम किया जाए, उनको ये डिजिटल गैजेट से कैसे हम दूर रखें, ये हम सोच रहे थे. लेकिन ड्यूरिंग द पीरियड ऑफ कोरोना व्हाट वी हैव डन, हम खुद ही बच्चों को ये गैजेट्स उनके हाथ में थमा रहे हैं. तो जिनके पास गैजेट्स है वो भी मुश्किल में है, जिनके पास गैजेट नहीं है वो भी कुछ यानी वो शिक्षा से महरूम रहने की भी यहाँ पे आशंका जताई जा रही है. तो हमने ऑनलाइन और ऑफलाइन दोनों का समन्वय करके कोरोना पीरियड में एक मध्यम मार्ग निकाला है, जिसमें हम कुछ प्रिंट आउट्स जो बच्चों को पहुंचाते हैं, ज्योग्राफिकल ग्रुप करके अलग अलग हिस्सों में बच्चों को बिठा के वहां पे जाके उनसे इंटरेक्शन करते हैं. उनको वो जो असाइनमेंट्स है वो छुड़ाने के लिए उनको घर पे देते हैं. व्हाट्सएप ग्रुप के माध्यम से या वॉइस कॉल के माध्यम से उनसे हम कनेक्टिविटी लगातार बनाए रखते हैं. और उसके माध्यम से हम ये कोशिश कर रहे हैं कि जहाँ पे ये डिजिटल गैजेट्स नहीं है वो भी बच्चे उनके स्कूली शिक्षा में खंड ना पड़े, उनकी शिक्षा भी लगातार चलती रहे. और इसके कोशिश में हमें वहाँ की कम्युनिटी का पार्टिसिपेशन जो है वो बहुत अच्छा मिल रहा है. वो भी ये कोशिश लगातार, पेरेंट्स के सामने भी यही सवाल है कि कहीं इन पूरी यानी कोरोना के इस महामारी के कारण हमारे बच्चे कहीं शिक्षा से महरूम न रह जाए. इसलिए वो भी ये चाहते हैं कि किसी न किसी प्रकार बच्चों तक शिक्षा पहुंचे, शिक्षक जो है वो पहुंचे, और इसके लिए वो भी हमेशा सहायता करने के लिए तैयार रहते हैं. हमारे अधिकारीगण भी महाराष्ट्र में डिजिटल जो एजुकेशन की स्थिति है वो मेरे ख्याल से अन्य राज्यों से काफी बेहतर है. हमने QR कोड बहुत पहले से ही पाठ्य पुस्तकों में वो इंट्रोड्यूस किए थे. साथ ही बहुत से स्कूल भी डिजिटल हो गए, लेकिन फिजिकल इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर जो है वो पुअर होने के कारण, और जैसे अभी मैम ने बताया था कि टीचर्स को भी इसके लिए यूज टू होना चाहिए. टीचर्स ने भी आगे बढ़ के ये जो बदलाव है इसको स्वीकार करना चाहिए. आगे चल के 5-7 साल बाद ये बदलाव आने वाला ही था, ऑनलाइन शिक्षा बढ़ने वाली थी, लेकिन कोरोना ने वो 5-7 साल पहले ही ऑनलाइन शिक्षण का जो महत्व है उसको बढ़ा दिया है. तो हमको भी इसके यूज टू होके हमको भी सामने जाना चाहिए, और किस प्रकार हम बच्चों तक अधिकाधिक उत्तमोत्तम गुणवत्तापूर्ण शिक्षा पहुंचा सकते हैं, इसके लिए हमें कोशिश करनी चाहिए, ऐसा मुझे लगता है.
नहीं, आपने बहुत
हेलो
महत्वपूर्ण बात की है क्योंकि
हेलो
एजुकेशन फॉर ऑल कहते हैं, एजुकेशन हैज़ टू बी इंक्लूसिव। लेकिन ये कोरोना की वजह से बहुत सारे बच्चे ऐसे हैं जो बाहर रह गए क्योंकि उनके पास मोबाइल फ़ोन नहीं है, उनके पास लैपटॉप नहीं है या उनके
सर
पास वाईफाई
सर
कनेक्टिविटी
खासकर
नहीं
सर
है। तो आई जस्ट वांट टू टेक दैट अप विथ श्याम। जी सर, बोलिए।
खासकर सरकारी स्कूलों में जो है वो साधन सामग्री की उपलब्धता काफी कम है। और वैसे भी ये बच्चे जो होते हैं निम्न मध्यम वर्ग या निम्न आर्थिक स्तर से आते हैं, तो उनके लिए या उनके पेरेंट्स के लिए गैजेट्स अवेलेबल कराना थोड़ा मुश्किल होता है। तो ऐसी परिस्थिति में डोनेट योर
हम्म।
गैजेट नाम की संकल्पना भी हमारे टीचर्स काफी अच्छी मात्रा में चला रहे हैं, जिसके माध्यम से हम हर एक के घर में अभी शहरी अर्बन एरिया में हर एक के घर में कोई ना कोई मोबाइल या लैपटॉप ऐसे होता है कि जो हम यूज नहीं करते। तो उसको आप डोनेट कीजिए, इन बच्चों तक पहुंचाइए, जिसके माध्यम से ज्यादा से ज्यादा बच्चों तक ये गैजेट्स पहुंचे। और साथ ही जिनके पास ये गैजेट्स नहीं, वे भी अलग माध्यम से, ऑफलाइन के माध्यम से भी शिक्षा हासिल कर सकते। उसके लिए भी हमें प्रयास करना चाहिए। निराश न होते हुए उसके लिए भी हम बिल्कुल ये साल हम इसलिए लगा सकते हैं कि इस साल हमें कोरोना से खुद को बचाना है, हमारे बच्चों को बचाना है और साथ ही शिक्षा भी लेनी है।
हम्म। आपने बहुत ही इंपॉर्टेंट अपील करी है और फॉर ऑल आवर व्यूअर्स हु आर वाचिंग, आई थिंक दैट्स अ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट अपील. इफ एनी ऑफ यू हैव स्पेयर phones, you have spare laptops, ones that you're not using, please do donate them because that will go a long way ahead in helping a child receive his or her education that is needed. I want to welcome on the panel Shama Chona as well. Good evening to you, ma'am. We were talking about the many difficulties in online education, the physical infrastructure, and the tech issues that we're facing. Now, for instance, I'm working from home and I still have so many Wi-Fi issues, battery issues. So, how are you coping with this, especially the tech issues, the Wi-Fi issues that you're facing?
Of course, we are talking about 285 young Indian learners who are actually facing the board exams, nursery admissions, entrance tests, and all this is leading to a lot of confusion and a lot of kind of depression. But surely our teachers have really come up suddenly to miraculous standards, and they're trying their best to reach out to the students. We have in this country over 15 lakh schools and about 50,000 higher education institutions. Now, it's not a joke to be able to reach out, but we are so definite and we are so positive that learning shall never stop. In this era of remote learning, nearly everyone is getting new kind of education. They are moving over from talk and chalk to the gadgets, as were mentioned by our celebrated educationist a little while ago. I fully agree with him that there is a lack of gadgets. Students do not have the right kind of mode to learn. But then, besides the gadgets, we also need the connectivity. You saw how I struggled as a very frequent user to be able to reach out on this conference. I think a lot of people are getting educated, the teachers, the parents. I am dealing with the disabled children right now, and you'll be so surprised and so happy to know that 500 of my disabled children are glued to their gadgets, and we are providing them, we are raising funds for them. I think this is now a community issue. If our young ones get educated in the new normal way, then the country will be educated. There are lots and lots of problems. There are micro problems, there are macro problems, but we can size up to them. Our own Prime Minister is so optimistic, and so are we all, that everybody is now understanding the value of child centric education. It is not just that we are sort of overlooking the fact that every child needs to spend the day fruitfully with proper learning. and every effort is being made. And wherever there are glitches, I think people are reaching out to solve them. I am so happy about the Diksha platform, and it is reaching village to village, and millions of children are getting, the benefit of it. I'm sure our teachers who are also COVID warriors, that is, they're helping the government even with the in the hospitals and other places in the communities, and yet they come home and prepare their lessons and try and do their best with the students. So all in all, I think India as a nation is progressing progressively, and we hope that our little ones, our young adults in the colleges are all benefiting from the efforts of the states, the efforts of the teachers, the efforts of the institutions. We are all at it wholeheartedly. I'm looking after 90
Right.
schools on their managements, and I can assure you that what we are doing, the parents are satisfied. Of course, it is leading to greater, what should I say, uh, closing between the parents and the students, because the parents are there actually at times to watch them, especially now during COVID when the offices
In
are being.
fact, yes, I just wanted to take you up on that and take all our panelists up on that. I'm sure because of this situation, you have parents hovering around all the time, some of the parents interfering in the education of their child. How has that been to deal with? If I can just go around the table to find that out, starting with Avneeta.
Yeah, so let me start with the positive. You see, for the first time ever, I've seen home and school coming together in this beautiful partnership of educating our children. So the kind of collaboration that I've seen between the teachers and the parents. When the parents have got together, and I was just discussing with Anuradha that, how they have come forward and they're understanding and they're showing empathy towards the teachers, and they put up something for the teachers today on Teachers' Day. So I see a beautiful partnership there, a beautiful collaboration happening. Yes, there are cases of some parents who are, who are over protective and who are hovering around, but that has been the parent profile always. So I don't think, I mean, if one has to, of course, be completely, we have to think about how all of us are struggling. These are trying times for all of us, and this is the time we also need to have see empathy and compassion. So the new equilibrium that I'm looking at is one which is going to be based on empathy, and this is a great opportunity for parents and teachers to come together. There's also this issue about how much of screen time is ideal or not. So again, we've had some parents saying, but
That's
why
right.
are you
Yes,
taking
that's
only
right.
few hours? But in school you had like 6 hours of school, and now you're only teaching them for 4 hours. And there are other parents who are saying that is too much screen time. So to be able to please all parents is a challenge.
If I could take you up on that, it depends upon how you plan
yes,
it.
that's an important aspect as well.
Briefly, all the points. Okay.
Okay.
One, if you, to take care of the fact that all are included, we have broken the classes into alternate classes every hour. So if 6, 8, and 10 have it from 8 to 9, 7, 9, and 11 will have it in the next hour, so that the issue of a gadget doesn't become a major one. 2, between asynchronous and synchronous learning, where some lessons can be taped and sent, you can avoid things like, I don't have connections, I couldn't do it. Teachers giving short guidance to the children in tutorials that we've organized for ourselves has helped the children with special needs, has helped the shy children, has helped children who are not very comfortable. So when the teacher can sit with 5 or 6 of them in a tutorial, it genuinely helps. Where gadgets were a problem, the school has provided them with gadgets. When it comes to parents, the first month we observed, the next month we decided that before we start teaching, we will have a small interaction with the parents tell them how we plan to do what we plan to do in the month, what are the assignments that we will give, what are the rubrics that we will follow, and what are our expectations of them. Thereafter, things smoothened out quite considerably. But yes, of course, there will be an odd parent who will pop in and say, "Man, mere bachche ko bhi aata hai." Fine, isn't it? It's the family, and learning doesn't happen only from teacher to child. Parents are welcome for storytelling. Parents need to be involved in the learning. You can't say that, no, this is mine and this is yours. We've had the advantage actually of parents writing in and telling us, or telephoning and telling us that, wow, you all have patience. Not everybody can handle it. So I think letting them have a peep into class has been good for us.
Right. मिस्टर मंगलम, क्या आपके साथ भी ये होता है जहाँ पर पेरेंट्स आते हैं, क्लास में खुद बैठते हैं, ऑनलाइन क्लासेस में खुद बैठते हैं, वो अपनी विशेष टिप्पणियां देते हैं, वो टीचर को इंटरप्ट करते हैं, ऐसे क्या आपके साथ भी हो रहा है?
नहीं, ऐसे तो नहीं होता है एक्चुअली. एज ए पार्टिसिपेशन, पेरेंट्स पार्टिसिपेशन ऑन अ पॉजिटिव नोट, नॉट ऑन अ नेगेटिव नोट, क्योंकि वो आते हैं जहाँ पे हम वो बच्चों के लिए या शिक्षकों के लिए सहायता हो, ऐसी सहायता लेकर ही आते हैं. शायद ये इस बात के लिए होगा क्योंकि देयर इज ओनली टीचर इज ओनली देयर रिसोर्स फॉर देयर स्टूडेंट्स, देयर पीपल्स एजुकेशन. That's why they interrupted on a positive note, not on a negative note. और एक दूसरी बात ये भी मैं इसके माध्यम से कहना चाहूंगा, क्योंकि कोरोना के इस महामारी के दौरान हम एक इस सोच में भी आ गए हैं कि शिक्षा जो है वो सिर्फ स्कूल में ही होती है. हमारे मराठी में एक कविता है, बिन भिंतींची उघडी शाळा लाखो इथले गुरु, झाडे वेली पशु पाखरे यांशी गोष्टी करू. यानी कि हम परिसर से हमारे आजू बाजू के पेड़ पौधे पंछी, इनके माध्यम से भी कुछ सीख सकते हैं. और कोरोना ने, जैसे अभी अनुराधा मैम कह रही थी कि फैमिली और यानी पेरेंट्स और टीचर्स दोनों के माध्यम से बच्चे आज कुछ ना कुछ सीख रहे हैं. अच्छा ठीक है, ये बात और है कि वो आज स्कूल में नहीं आ पा रहे हैं, लेकिन घर पे भी बैठ के वो अलग अलग चीजें सीख सकते हैं. जैसे हम प्राइमरी लेवल पे हम तो यही कहेंगे कि अगर आपको कुछ सब्जी बनानी है तो सब्जी में क्या क्या पड़ता है, कितनी मात्रा में पड़ता है, ये बच्चे इसके माध्यम से देख के सीख सकते हैं. या अपने घर के जो छोटे मोटे काम होते हैं वो सीख सकते हैं. जैसे हमारा स्कूल जो है रूरल एरिया से बिलोंग करता है, तो खेती के अलग अलग काम कैसे चलते हैं, क्योंकि यही आगे चल के वो किताबों में भी पढ़ने वाले हैं. तो वो बातें भी वो यानी अपने घर पे रह के अपने पेरेंट्स के माध्यम से भी सीख सकते हैं. तो इस तरह से हम अलग अलग दिशा में देखें कि कौन कौन से माध्यम है और बच्चे क्या क्या सीख सकते हैं. यही नहीं सोचे कि अगर वो स्कूल में जाते हैं या ऑनलाइन शिक्षा प्राप्त करते हैं या ऑनलाइन अगर कुछ क्लासेस चल रहे हैं तो ही उनकी शिक्षा शुरू है, ऐसी बात नहीं है. हम यानी वो स्कूल में ना जाते हुए भी अलग अलग माध्यम से वो शिक्षा प्राप्त कर सकते हैं. आप उनको साइकिल रिपेयरिंग कराना सिखाइए, या आपकी व्हीकल होगा तो उसकी वॉशिंग कराना, ये भी एक कला है, वो भी हम उनको सिखा सकते हैं. जैसे शर्ट के बटन लगाना, ये भी छोटी छोटी जीवन कौशल जो है वो भी हम एक कोरोना काल के दौरान ऑनलाइन शिक्षा को पर्याय के रूप में वो भी हम सिखा सकते हैं. और इसके लिए मुझे नहीं लगता कि यानी बहुत स्किल होने की जरूरत है, पेरेंट्स भी इसको कर सकते हैं. और इस माध्यम से हम भी पेरेंट्स का इन्वॉल्वमेंट जो है वो लेते हैं. इसलिए मैंने कहा कि पेरेंट्स पॉजिटिव नोट पे इंटरप्ट करते हैं.
No, I think it's important that parents and teachers work together in this time. We're actually running out of time. Can I just Shama Chona, just one last part of this, which is again a very controversial subject that we're facing when it comes to online education, and that is the subject of fees. It's been a difficult time financially for a number of families, especially those from economically weaker sections. We have schools that are charging, besides the tuition fees, they're also charging for overheads, they're also charging for school uniforms. Do you want to weigh in on this whole controversy about whether schools need to recalibrate how much they're charging in these times?
I think so, because I think the schools also have some standing expenses. For example, the buses are standing, the drivers, the conductors have to be paid. There are expenses incurred on maintenance of the buildings, on, the security services. etc. But surely most of the schools have received the notices and the instructions what to charge for and what not to charge for. But we have to be understanding, especially, there should be a very good meeting point between the government schools and the authorities, so that there is understanding of the fact that the private schools are contributing a lot. We now have 25% EWS students who do not pay at all. We are also carrying them forward with us. Now, in a particular EWS family, there may be only one gadget and there may be three children going to the school, and the school timings may be common. So the schools are providing the gadgets to them, as you just heard from some of the panelists over here. And surely I understand that there may not be necessity of annual charges, but surely the maintenance charges, etc., besides the tuition fee, may be required. But everybody is understanding the situation. The government schools, there is no difference between public and private. Everyone is coming together, and we are necessarily working for the children. We are teacher centric. At this moment, everything else is forgotten, and I'm sure programs like yours will enlighten the public that education is education. It is not going to suffer for money, for gadgets, as long as we have wonderful teachers who are ready to go any extent to teach the children, and we have cooperative parents. The communities are with us. There is no problem. In fact, I'd like to tell you that some of the children are studying much better now because there is no way to escape. And I think while COVID is a very great challenge, but in the field of education, people are even getting education from overseas, and everybody is doing his or her best. We have some excellent panelists over here.
Well, I completely agree, and that's... Ma'am, I'm so sorry to interrupt you, but I completely agree with you. You've put it so beautifully. In these challenging times, teachers have been as much of COVID warriors. They've kept the education of young minds going. They haven't stopped at all. And as a nation, we're truly grateful to have teachers like all of you. To all our panelists, thank you for joining our show. And more importantly, thank you for continuing to shape young minds in these times.